there. My name is Noah Hansen, and I am going to be the camp director at Camp Hunt this upcoming summer. I'm super excited to be up there and to meet all of you that are coming up to camp, and for you to meet all of our amazing staff and have a great experience at camp this summer. We're just making this video to give you some of the information that you're going to need to prepare for this summer at camp. So hopefully we'll be able to get through it pretty quick. And then you'll be able to know all the important information and have the resources to answer any questions that you might have. So to start off, if any point through this process in the next few months, you need to contact me with any questions. My email is nkhansen, Hansen, 91@gmail.com. And feel free to reach out with any questions that you have for me, and I will do my best to answer them for you. So this summer you will be coming up to Camp Hunt. It's right on the shores of the Bear Lake, a beautiful area. We are very lucky to be there. We have, for those of you who this matters, we have all flushing toilets, all hot water. So it's not as rough and tough as some other places are, and it's great up there. We have beautiful views in the mornings of the sunrises and of the sunsets in the evening. It's about 2.5 hours north of Salt Lake City and 2 miles north of Garden City. And so that's kind of an overview of the most important part, which is the camp and where you'll be coming this summer. And most of the information I'm going to be sharing with you right now is found on the Camp Hunt Leaders Guide. So if you have any questions, you can download that at utahscouts.org/hunt. You scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and there will be a couple different leaders guides listed. You will be looking for the Scout Camp Leaders Guide. And there's a place where you can download the physical forms, and it has all of this information on there. So we're just going to start off with arrival to camp. Most of you will be arriving between 8 and 10 a.m. on Monday morning, the week that you'll be coming up. If that doesn't work for your group, please contact me and we can make other arrangements. But we try to have everybody there by 10 o'clock in the morning. This helps you to get your campsite ready and get everything figured out before our program starts on Monday afternoon. So immediately upon arrival at camp, we like you to send one adult leader to check into the lodge. As soon as you pull in and you start unloading stuff, send one of your adult leaders up to the lodge to check in with all of your medical forms, your completed swim check roster, any final payments that you might have for camp, and any changes that need to be made for merit badge classes. We can get that all figured out when you get up to camp. And then your completed group roster. So bring all of that information up to the lodge and we can get you checked in. And the medical forms A, B, and C are all required by all participants, including the adults. So make sure that you have those for everyone at camp during the week. For swim checks, we require swim checks for anyone to go into the water, whether it's boating or swimming. And we ask that you bring a completed swim check to camp with you. Again, there may be special circumstances, and if that doesn't work for your group, please contact me and we can arrange for you guys to do swim checks at camp. We just have minimal time to do that, and so we ask that everyone come with swim checks completed with a swim check roster. So for your campsites where you'll be staying during the week, each campsite has 2 picnic tables that you are free to use, a campfire, a trash can with no trash bags. So we ask you to please bring your own trash bags, but there will be a trash can in your campsite provided. There are restrooms throughout the camp. Every campsite has one pretty close by. And all water is potable in or near the campsites. So all of the spigots have potable water that can be used for you to fill up your jugs and stuff. And then as for the bathrooms, like I said, we have all flushing toilets, which is great. We have showers that can be used by the scouts and leaders. And then upon your arrival at camp, we will inform you which bathrooms are male and which bathrooms are female. and kind of explain that process. It changes week to week depending on how many we have in camp. We also really strongly emphasize the importance of YPT, making sure that we always have 2 deep leadership minimum in camp at all times. So we need to have 2 adult leaders at all times when there are youth around, and making sure that the youth are also following the buddy system. Those 2 things are extremely important at camp. On to kind of camp ecology, taking care of camp when you're up there. We ask that you please keep all food and trash cleaned up. We don't have bears at Camp Hunt like some of the other camps, but we do have what we call mini bears, which are just all the other little animals, squirrels and chipmunks and raccoons, and they are just as happy as bears are to get into your food. So please just keep it cleaned up when you're not in camp. We ask that there is no climbing on trees, and hammocks are not allowed to be strapped to trees or the buildings. You have to bring your own hammock stand if you want to set up hammocks. And then for firewood, we ask that you bring your own firewood. We have very minimal firewood in camp. And so if you are planning on having campfires, we ask that you bring your own. And then as far as fire restrictions, they are possible. That kind of changes as time goes by, and you can check utahscouts.org/safety. And on there, we will have all the current fire restrictions so that you can stay up to date with that. Just make sure that all of your fires are out cold when they are unattended and nobody's in camp. And for garbage, we have dumpsters on the north and south ends of camp that you can use to put your garbage in. And all of these things around camp, when you arrive at camp, your camp's friends will give you a tour and they'll show you where all of this stuff is. So for parking, when you show up at camp, it's kind of a crazy process, and we do our best to make sure that everybody understands what's going on and that you get where you need to be as quickly as possible. We ask that you pack light. Luckily, we don't have to walk too far to get to your campsites, but for some campsites, it is a little bit of a walk. So packing light is best. Don't bring things that you don't really need. There are no parking near campsites. Plan on hauling all of your gear. So if you want, bring wagons, wheelbarrows, backpacks, strong scouts who can carry their own stuff. But again, pack light because it's going to have to all be carried by hand to your campsites. The gate into our parking area is 11 foot by 13 foot tall. So 11 feet wide and 13 feet tall. Most RVs and camper trailers don't fit well. It is a tight squeeze. So if you have to bring one, please contact us first to make sure that it's going to work and that it will fit in our parking area. And then due to our limited parking space, boats, we ask if you are bringing a boat that it needs to be stored at the dry dock at the marina. We just don't have enough room in our parking area for boats and all the cars. For our good neighbor policy here at camp, we hope that everyone has a great time and is able to get the rest that they need. So we ask that quiet hours at camp are from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and lights out is at 10:30. We just do that to make sure that our scouts and leaders can get the rest that they need to have an enjoyable week. And please stay out of campsites that aren't yours unless you're invited. We like to keep those areas to the individual groups that are in them. And then as for reservations, we have amphitheaters and pavilions, special areas in camp. If you would like to reserve one of those for one of the days for your group, the reservations will begin on May 11th. We will be having an open house up at Camp Hunt. I will be there, and you can come up, take a tour of camp, meet some of the staff and make plans and reserve any areas that you want for a special occasion for your group. Okay, for food options, I'm sorry if we're kind of jumping all around here. I gotta trying to keep my thoughts organized here. For food options, we have two two choices. We have bring your own food and dining hall. For bring your own food, you have to bring all utensils, plates, cups, everything you need to cook in your campsite, stove, everything, coolers for food storage for the week. We do have gas stations nearby if you need to get ice to put into your coolers throughout the week. But the decision needs to be made. Oh, we also have ice in the trading post. There's ice at the gas station and there's ice in the trading post if you need it. And then the dining hall option is obviously you're eating in the dining hall. The camp provides the food. Menus will be available on the Camp Hunt website. Again, utahscouts.org/hunt. And if you will be eating in the dining hall and somebody in your group has special dietary needs, please have the participants' parents go to utahscouts.org/allergy at least 2 weeks before you arrive in camp and submit an allergy form. Our cook will contact parents to get details and make sure that we are able to accommodate them. And if the camp is not notified in advance about the dietary needs, we might not be able to accommodate. So just make sure that those accommodations are being submitted at least 2 weeks before your arrival at camp. And the decision of whether or not you're going to be eating in camp or in your own campsite or in the dining hall needs to be made and paid for at least 2 weeks before camp starts. And just one more thing about the food accommodations. If we are unable to accommodate, which does not happen very often, we will ask them to provide their own food. But like I said, that does not happen very often. And so now that's kind of the boring information that we need to get through, registration and all of that stuff. And we're going to go on and talk a little bit about our schedule and our program and the activities that we offer at camp. We're super excited for what we have planned this summer. So for our schedule, how it works at Camp Hunt is we have 3 class periods that are usually in the mornings. On the first day, it will be in the afternoons. After you arrive, we have our 3 class periods. Then we'll have dinner. And then in the evenings, we have troop time. On the first day, we'll have a meeting with our senior patrol leaders and our scoutmasters. And then we'll have an opening campfire that evening. And then for the rest of the week, from 9:30 to about 12:30, we have our 3 merit badge classes. So each scout gets to choose 3 merit badges that they want to take. And we'll have those classes. After that, from 2 to 5, we have open time. So that is a time when the scouts can do things that maybe aren't merit badge specific. They can go boat down at the waterfront, or your troops can sign up for a troop shoot to go to the archery range. And all of our activities are open during that time for your scouts to do whatever they might want to do that day. And then in the evenings, we have different activities every day, from camp-wide washki games, commissioner campfires, honor trail. We have a lot of activities throughout the week that we're super excited for. And oh, I lost my right there. So we're super excited for everything that we have planned. And for the open time in the afternoon, we ask that the scouts bring blue cards to their merit badge classes. We don't keep a roll sheet during our free time. It just gets very complicated. And so we ask that they bring blue cards, and we will be filling out the blue cards, or our counselors will, as they are completing assignments if they want to do merit badges during open time. Again, that's just during open time. During the merit badge classes, we will keep a roster, we will mark down the requirements, and then you will get a digital blue card at the end of the week. And we don't offer any archery merit badge or aquatic merit badges in the afternoon. During open time, they can do activities there, but we do not offer the merit badges. In case of lightning with the waterfront, lightning or storms, we do not allow the youth in the water. It's a BSA policy. And so we adjust the program to continue with out of water instruction as best we can. Sometimes, depending on the weather during the week, we will be unable to complete everything if there is a lot of storms during the week. I just lost my place again. Right there. So the Waterfront Olympics is a big camp-wide event that we have at the end of the week. And there's a lot of it. It's kind of a relay race, and we invite everyone to participate. It's not required, but we like to have everyone joining in with their teams. We have paddleless kayak races, paper airplane competitions, caber toss, sand creations, tug of war. We've got lots of different activities that we're super excited about, so be prepared for that. Back to a little bit of registration stuff that I just realized I need to cover. Camp fees are due April 30th. 50% of your camp fees are due on April 30th. And you will be able to register your scouts for their merit badge classes beginning May 1st if your 50% fees are paid by then. And then your final payment is due 1 week before your arrival at camp. Our trading post has a lot of different super fun items, snacks, souvenirs, hats, and shirts for sale. We also have a lot of materials for merit badge classes in the trading post. So when you're signing up for a merit badge class, on the list of merit badges on the leader's guide, if it has a dollar sign next to it, that means that materials will need to be purchased. That class requires money. So please make sure that your scouts have the money that they need if they are taking a merit badge that requires them to buy materials. I think that's everything that I've got. I'm super excited for you all to be coming up to Camp Hunt this summer. Again, if you have any questions between now and camp, feel free to reach out to me at nkhansen91@gmail.com or call the service desk at the Scout office at 801-479-5460. And I am super excited to seeing you and meeting you all at camp this summer.